In the CIA, there's this philosophy that goes something like, if you want to change somebody's mind, don't convince them, right? Let them convince themselves. And so in CIA deprogramming, direct confrontation doesn't really work because the brain is defending ego harder than truth. And so instead of arguing, they guide people towards the realization they want them to have with these loaded questions, these contradictions. And top candidates use the exact same technique in interview. Personally, before I ever walk in the room, I've already talked to 2 to 3 people on the inside, and I've heard what the real pain points are. And so maybe it's retention, maybe it's the development paths for people to have a future there. And so I already know the conversation I want to have, and I start positioning myself as somebody who's done those exact things before in the past and built the career tracks and things like that. But then I drop the question as something like, in my last company, we assumed our retention issues were compensation related, but the real shift happened when we gave people a future through these growth paths. And so I'm curious, like, do people here leave because of the money, or do they leave because they don't see a future? And boom, like, I'm not pushing, I'm pulling, and they're the ones going, yeah, actually we've struggled with that, and I think it's because people don't see a future here. And then just like that, I'm no longer the candidate that's like explaining my value. I'm the solution to something that they just discovered themselves is the problem. And so that's the CIA guided realization technique. You don't persuade, you plant. And when they finish the thought for you, they feel brilliant, and you walk out as the hero and the obvious answer.